Hey, DevCentral community, Aubrey here, and I am joined by Steve Wilson. He is the project lead for the OWASP Top 10 for large language model applications and so much more. How you doing, Steve?
Good.
How many black hats is this for at?
This would be black hat number 1 for me.
One? Oh, wow. I figured you would have been like an old pro at I guess. Yeah, all right. For me, it's only 1 or 2 for me also. But, and of course, I wanted to make sure that we got an update for our community on the top 10. As like some people don't know, this is a living document that is going up on its 2nd revision right now. Well, 3rd really, but you're 2.0. And I guess what can you tell us about that process and where we are?
So, expanded the expert team dramatically since the one that put together the first version of the document. I think there are something like 1,400 people on the Slack channel. What do you have now? Like 3,000 people on the LinkedIn page? Yeah, so there's a lot of people who are interested, but we basically went through a process where we did a bunch of brainstorming. People expanded out the number of entries with a bunch of new candidates. And I think what we've seen is some of the threats that we looked at initially have become way more important, or at least people have come to understand they're more important. So things like AI supply chain, it's a dumpster fire. It's become way more important. The sort of internal rankings on that have moved way up. Some of the technologies that were barely understood when we were doing this a year ago, things like retrieval augmented generation, finding its way into a lot of the discussions around what the security stance is. And then we have like whole new fields that people were barely dabbling in, like self-directed agents. And what are the security applications of that when you really unleash your agents onto the internet? So those are some of the big things that we're looking at.
Now, one of the interesting terms I keep hearing is jailbreaking. Are we going to have an actual jailbreaking entry, you think, in the 10?
So I think what we've decided is that there probably isn't an entry called jailbreaking. That is a thing that you do. But I think some of the things that are key ways that people have, or the key vulnerabilities that allow you to jailbreak a system, like exposing your system costs. That's actually come up with something that I could very easily see with making the top 10.
Yes, absolutely. And when are we looking at a new top 10? That's the big one, right? That's the community really wants to know that.
So we're actually getting pretty close. I think we're standing here in early August. I see us having something out, if we stay on track, first part of October. So a couple months out.
So that's not a hard date, community, but we will definitely get there pretty soon. Anything you're looking forward to in the show also besides, are you doing that, the AI Summit Day? I just saw that there was there's a summit for AI.
There's an AI event everywhere all the time. Hasn't somebody told you?
Yeah, there was one at lunch just 5 minutes ago.
I did a panel on AI supply chain, my favorite dumpster fire this morning. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm going to be spending most of the week with my Exabeam hat on rather than my OWASP app, walking around talking about AI-driven security operations and co-pilots for your son.
That's cool. That's cool. That's also fun stuff too. I find it fun to like balance between the two things that I'm doing here too. Although I am doing an OWASP talk in our booth. Yeah, it's an F5 booth, so that'll be fun. If you're out there, come check me out Wednesday and Thursday. The Iron Man method for AI defense. So come on. So that's great, man. I'm happy that I was able to run into you. It's always good to see you. Are you catching up with any of the other folks in the project?
Yeah, I think there's a couple folks that are on my list. People are definitely coming into town here, so hopefully you have managed to hook up with some of the next.
Thanks for the time, Steve. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you, community.